Hello, Vibers. Today we are going to be taking a look at whether or not you are focused on abundance or lack and how where you are currently focused is affecting your manifestations. If you happen to be new here, my name is Shon and I am so happy that you are joining us. Now, typically when I do pick a cards, I do 3 piles, but today we are doing 4 piles because I am feeling exceedingly generous. I sound so corny sometimes. But anyway, yes, I am feeling super generous because we are in the month of American Thanksgiving. It is November at the time that I'm recording this video. However, this is a timeless reading. So whenever you find it, it is applicable to you. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I am currently running my early holiday sale on Etsy as well as my website. I struggle with that word almost every video, don't I? Anyway, my website. The website address is shonwilson.com and the Etsy address is notsoavagedreamer.etsy.com. And right now, when you order anything on either platform, you will save 25% so that you can buy as much as you want. All right, with that being said, let's take a look at the piles I have prepared for you for your reading today. By the way, thank you all so much for being here, even if you aren't new. For today's piles, I have chosen 4 oracle decks for you to use as selectors, as well as crystals placed on the top of each deck. Now, don't worry, you will get to see each of these decks no matter what reading you choose, because we will use all 4 of them as well as 2 tarot decks in the reading. However, right now to pick, your choices are these. We have the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena for pile 1, as well as the Citrine Crystal. We have the Everyday Witch Oracle for pile 2, along with a clear quartz. We have the Higher Self Oracle along with the Amethyst Crystal for pile 3. And finally, we have the, what's it called? Hold on a second. What is that deck called? Oh, yes, I remember. The Wishcraft Oracle for pile 4 along with the Smoky Quartz Crystal. So take a second, take a look to see which of these 4 piles or which of these 4 crystals, or maybe the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 is calling to you. And then go down to the description box of this video to find the exact timestamp that will lead you to your reading. I will see you guys there. Hi, group 1, welcome to your reading. So you guys were drawn into your reading today by the Citrine Crystal or by the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena. The first thing that we're going to do as we take a look today at whether or not you are focused on abundance or lack is pull some oracle cards to get a sense of the general energy around you and some insights that you might need to consider. Okay, right away we have There Is Always a Way. Next, we're going to pull from the Everyday Witch Oracle just to get some added information there. We have Affirmation for Positive Change. You guys, I think it's pretty clear that you guys have been noticing what's not there instead of focusing on what is there. But let's see what else we get. From the Higher Self Oracle, the message you have is forgiveness. So there may be a hurt attached to your feelings of lack. I'm getting that a hurt may have been the initial cause of your feelings of lack. Very interesting. And it might be time to forgive that person. Not even might. I mean, that's pretty clear, right? And then finally, you guys have Painting with Magic. I don't have to know everything all the time. So before we've pulled any tarot cards at all, it does seem pretty clear that you guys are not feeling abundant in your life. You're not operating in a sense of gratitude for what you do have, because you are very focused on a hurt from the past. And this hurt that happened, I'm getting, probably as most hurts do, happened unexpectedly. And so has created a challenge in your ability to believe or hope, or you know that saying, there's this phrase that I can't remember which of my parents used to say this when I was a kid, probably my biological father: don't get your hopes up. You know, that's what I'm getting from you guys, that there's this fear of getting your hopes up, because what if something doesn't work out? And so because of having that fear, you notice what's missing in life. Also because of whatever the unexpected hurt was, that feels like it was pretty major, like life-changing hurt. For some of you, it may have been that you were, I'm getting something around a canceled wedding or engagement, a relationship that you thought was going to go all the way. This person felt like a dream come true to you, and it turned out that they weren't at all what you thought they were going to be. And now there is this need inside of you to want to know ahead of time if something could go wrong. Let me say that better. It's more along the lines of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. And because of living in that state of tension or fear, when there is something that you want for yourself, it might take you a while to believe that it is possible for you. I am getting the sense that the majority of you, because of what your nature is, who you were before that hurt happened, you don't lack confidence. You are the kind of person that historically had the ability to set a goal and achieve it. But there is an energetic block these days because of being afraid to hope, being afraid to believe, especially to believe that it is possible, that there is a way. You might have a habit of looking at all the things that could go wrong. So like blocks that don't even exist, you might be putting them in the equation. I don't know how you say that, but seeing problems that aren't there in an attempt to be prepared when problems happen. And so because of being in that state of fear, looking for what's wrong or looking from what's missing in terms of trying to create something or achieve a goal or manifest something, bring something into your life, there isn't the energy of relaxation in life, relaxation in what life is, trusting the universe, trusting that you're on a, oh goodness, like a path, there isn't a sense of trusting, relaxing enough to be able to trust that you're on a path that is going to get you to an ideal destination. An inability to trust the river of life as it flows the way it flows. And if it seems to go in a way that you weren't expecting, that tension, it rears its head and it grows even more. And then you try to take control again. And what I'm really getting is there is a need for forgiveness for you guys. But believe it or not necessarily forgiveness of that other person, though that can and usually is helpful for being able to relax and move forward and create the life you really want for yourself. Not filter your life or frame things that happen through the lens of the hurt or pain or thing that went wrong in the past. But you're actually being called to forgive yourself. I am getting that for you guys, you need to forgive yourself for not seeing it coming. You don't have to know everything all the time. You might actually be carrying an energy right now that sometimes turns people off because you're really quick to have a response or an answer to what someone says in conversation. You're not in receptive mode is what it gets down to. And it's because there's a subconscious fear that you can't receive, or that if you do receive, you are going to lose it or have it taken from you. So definitely the energy of lack is prominent around you right now, and it's causing a block to your living freely, as joyously as you could, and creating or manifesting whatever it is that you really would like to have in your life. All right, let's get some more clarity for you from, this is the This Might Hurt Tarot. Oh, wow, This Might Hurt Tarot. Yeah, I didn't plan that. Okay, so we have Seven of Swords in reverse. Oh, we also have the Six of Cups. Oh, wait, we have two. Six of Cups in reverse. We saw that first, so I'll put that there. But also Ace of Wands. I have to tell you, Group 1, that you are definitely being guided, that your mind does play tricks on you. This inability to have faith, this inability to trust. And when I say faith, I don't necessarily mean faith in a higher power or faith in a deity, just faith again that things will work out for you. This inability to relax and let the universe co-create with you, or rather you co-create with the universe. It is a lie of the mind. It is a trick that your mind is playing on you. And it's keeping you from being able to we already covered this, but this is just the confirmation of it. See clearly. And it is blocking the energy of your childhood dream. So a lot of you guys may be specifically trying to manifest something or create something that is attached to what you always dreamed of being or doing for yourself. I'm also getting a sense, and this is very, very specific, that for some of you, it is keeping you from being able to be a supportive presence or voice for the hopes and dreams of your children. You may be teaching your children, like I said, my biological father, I'm pretty sure it was him, used to say, don't get your hopes up. You might be doing that. What you experience has created in you some cynicism, a slightly cynical nature. Again, I'm getting the sense that the majority of you are not fully there because your nature was to be one who hopes, one who dreams, who, like in the Disney movie Cinderella, she sings "A dream is a wish your heart makes." You might have that song playing in your head over and over all the time and not even be conscious of it. But because of what you have experienced and now feeling the need to be guarded because of this lie of the mind, this trick that your mind sometimes plays on you when attempting something new or dreaming about something that you would want to do. You are now also teaching that level of cynicism to others who look up to you. I said children, so for those of you who have children, you might be doing that. If you don't happen to have children, or you're not doing that specifically with your children, someone who looks up to you, someone who looks to you for guidance. So it could be your employees or your students if you're an educator, or just someone in your social set, friend group or family, co-workers even, that, you have a dynamic energy. And that energy that you have makes people notice you. And you inspire others, whether you know it or not. And the inspiration may not always be positive inspiration. They take your lead a lot of the times because of the fact that you are such a presence. And you are needing to allow for your magic to flow again. To believe in, I didn't choose the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle for this particular video today, but that is part of it. Believing in your own magic again. This thing that happened, it was just part of the evolution of your life. It was not your fault. And it is possible, and hear me clearly, Group 1, it is possible that even if you had known what was going to come, you may have still made the same set of choices because the choices you made at the time were based on who you were at that time. And it is wholly unfair for you to judge yesterday's choices or mistakes based on the wisdom you have now today. Hence, again, that forgiveness. And as you allow yourself to forgive yourself, excuse me, you are going to be able to to grow again, to create again, to manifest again, because you won't feel the need to have every duck in a row, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. You'll be able to take risks again, even if it just is starting off with small mitigated risks. You'll be able to have a vision of what you want for yourself and go forward towards that. You are being called to use affirmations, find affirmations for positive change, which means there should be for you an expectation of positive change. And the fact that this card says positive change means you have been focusing on or feeling strongly what isn't working, what doesn't working, or what you don't want. So let yourself believe in how capable and magical you are, again, because you are. This, did y'all see that? I love how it just like slid out like butter. I mean, not that butter tends to slide out of things, but it's slidey. I'm gonna just shut up and go back to focusing on the cards now. Anyway, so you guys got Knight of Swords. So you have to take action in the area of what you're thinking. And you have to be able to think with confidence. Think confidently about yourself as a person of confidence, of being able to handle life, of being able to go forward and bring your ideas into reality. Going on quests, so to speak. You have to I'm getting to tell you to take over your mind, take control over the thoughts. Don't let the thoughts run rampant and just let them exist. If you have a thought that comes up that does not serve you, that does not elevate you, that does not affirm you, that does not show compassion for you, this is a big one. Then you are to actively change that thought to a different thought. Sometimes it might be that you need to change it to the opposite thought, but sometimes it may be that you need to take your mind off of that subject altogether and think of something else. It is a substitution, right? You're going to substitute how you use your mental energy. And so, to give you a quick example before we wrap up here, a long time ago, I used to be a smoker. I smoked cigarettes, and it started off smoking them while I was having drinks with people. And then, as is the way of addictive habits, it became smoking just 'cause. And then it became smoking when I was in a state of worry. And when the time came that I went, this is not good for me. This is actually, I'm a singer too. And so it was, of course, harming my singing voice. I decided to quit. But I tried the patch, didn't work. I, of course, like many people do, tried cold turkey, didn't work. And then I read somewhere that if you chew cinnamon gum or eat cinnamon candy, when you are having a craving for cigarettes, it soothes the brain in the same way that nicotine seems to soothe the brain. It actually doesn't. Nicotine actually makes you more agitated, which is one of the reasons why you increase your smoking. But we'll talk about that a different day. Actually, probably not. That's not really what this channel is for. But anyway, so we think that it soothes our brain. And it does provide temporary relief, which is why people do it. But cinnamon candy or gum, or if you're, super brave, you want to chew on a cinnamon stick and knock yourself out, soothes the same part of the brain. And added benefit, gives you fresh breath. So when I found out about that, I decided to try it out, and it absolutely worked. I quit smoking using cinnamon as my substitution. Cinnamon I mostly did cinnamon gum, big red gum. as my substitution, and I never smoked again. I don't remember how long I had to do the substitution, that when I had a craving for cigarettes, I would chew the gum instead. But also at the same time, you know what else I had to do is when I had the thoughts that would make me feel the anxiety that caused me to want a cigarette, I also had to change those thoughts. And that is what you're being called on to do with your Knight of Swords here. Okay? Take action on your own behalf. Take mental action on your own behalf. As I am always saying, you must be on your own side. And if you are only focusing on the lack, or mostly focusing on the lack, and not allowing yourself to hope or dream or plan or try, you're being unkind to yourself. And at the risk of sounding dramatic, I think it's a little bit abusive. Because you deserve to hope. And particularly if you are, doing that to your inner child, your childhood dreams, that's not very nice. Treat her better than that. Treat him better than that if you happen to be a dude watching. And then if you're teaching your children not to dream, stop it right now. And I'm using the word dream, which sounds like only fantastical things, but it doesn't have to be. A dream can be something super practical, like a dream job or your dream home. It doesn't have to be something like moving to Hollywood and becoming a superstar, or becoming, an NBA player, or winning the Heisman Trophy, or anything like that, or the Olympics. Though those are still things that are doable, because you know what? People have done them. So, this is what I have for you today, you guys. I want to ask you, if you have enjoyed this reading, please remember to give the video a like. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please be sure to do that. It really does help me to grow our community. And also, I want to remind you that I am currently, at the time of this recording, which is November of 2023, running my early holiday sale on Etsy, where everything in the shop is 25% off, as well as on my website, shon.vibes.com. So if you would like a personal reading, feel free to reach out to me there, and I will help you out. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn into your reading today by either the number 2 or the clear quartz crystal, which I will put over here for your reading, or by the Everyday Witch Oracle. I want to remind you guys that you will be seeing all 4 of our Oracle decks during your reading today, as we take a look at whether you are currently focused on abundance or lack in your life, and how what you're focused on is affecting your manifestations. In addition to pulling cards from each of these 4 oracle decks, we'll also get some more details and some clarification for you from the This Might Hurt Tarot by Chris Ann. No, that's not right. Chris Ann did Light Seers. The This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rothman, and the Golden Tarot Royale by Sarah Marchetti. So let's jump in and get started right away. I am so glad that you're here with me today. And if you happen to enjoy this reading, be sure to give me a like or a heart, depending on which platform you're on, because it does help get these messages out to more people who could possibly, benefit from them. So right away, we have transformation and change. Very, very interesting. So that's the Everyday Witch Oracle. We're also going to grab a card for you guys from the Higher Self Oracle. Oh, look at that. This one is like, I want to come. Look at this again. Transformation. So anybody who might have been wondering if it was right for me to take this card at that time, here is your confirmation. So we have transformation and change, and then we have transformation. Very, very interesting. Right away, it feels as though a clear message is coming through for you guys with no ambiguity, right? So now we have the Wishcraft Oracle. I speak so fast, I always feel the need to reiterate that I'm saying, oh, wow, Wishcraft. Seeds of power. From tiny things, big things can grow. So more we have this message of this energy of transformation, going from one state to another, from one thing to another. And then the final oracle deck that we're pulling from today is the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Samoyana. I'm sure many of you guys are subscribed to her channel or own some of her decks yourself. So again, we're looking at, are you focused on abundance or lack? You guys, I feel it's pretty clear already that you guys are focused on abundance. And you actually ended up, yep, that's what I thought. You got 2 that came out from this deck. And we're going to take them both. You got best case scenario, right? Oh, but look at this. You also got sacrifices. I want to start here just because sacrifices can seem like it's talking about lack, right? Sacrifice is when we tend to give something up, usually by choice. Now, in its most how do I want to put it? The way I was taught about sacrifice, I was raised Catholic, okay? So the way I was taught about sacrifice, it is a conscious choice that you make for the benefit of others. Sacrifice can also, though, be a conscious choice that you make for the benefit of yourself. And then, of course, there are the times when a sacrifice is made that is not one that we want to make. We do it out of a necessity for the scenario we find ourselves in. The energy I'm getting around this word for you guys today, though, is that you are willing to make sacrifices. So this, of course, speaks to the conscious choice sacrifice. And part of the reason, and you're willing to make sacrifices to get what you want or to get more of what you want. And you have the ability to feel that way because you are focused on abundance. Even when we had transformation and change as the first card, and then transformation, and then seeds of power. Even with just these 2, I thought it was pretty clear that you guys are focused on the abundance in your life right now. And because you can see the abundance in life, it's easier for you than it may be for some others to focus on best case scenario when you're looking at what is coming in your life or what is actually already in your life. A lot of times we're trying to manifest because we're trying to get something other than what we already have, which in a way does imply we feel that what we have is not enough. But you guys, I feel, are really good at being able to see how what your current situation or circumstances are best case scenario for right now, which allows you to have the high vibration energy to focus on best case scenario for the future and expecting the best to come to you, expecting to be able to create and or receive those things that you want for yourself. And because you can see the abundance that is in your life, it is easier for you to sacrifice some things because you know that you have plenty, and you know deep down inside that you are not going to go without. When there are a couple of sayings that sometimes I don't really agree with, but I know a lot of people find comfort in them. One of them is that when one door closes, another door opens. I don't know that I believe that that's always true because how do I put it? A lot of times when we hear that, we think that that door is going to immediately open, and that's not always the case, right? So I personally am a little bit leery of a lot of the sayings that are out there that have just become part of the zeitgeist, that people they just say it because it's said. Another one is everything happens for a reason. Maybe one day I'll do a video about why that particular one I have a little bit of issue with how people tend to perceive it, interpret it. And that's what it is with all of these sayings. It's not so much that I'm like, no, that's never true. It's about the interpretation of it. So getting back to this idea of when one door closes, another one opens, sometimes we can fall into the trap of thinking the new thing is coming right away. And then when it doesn't, it can negatively affect our faith. Boom, I already explained it. I don't even have to do another video. Okay, it's the same thing with the saying of everything happens for a reason. People, I feel a lot of times will take that to mean when something bad happens, there's a good reason for that bad thing happening, and we'll see that good reason later. I disagree with that, and I think that's a dangerous way for us to think. I think that there are times when something happens for a reason, and that reason is because of specific choices we've made or things we've done, or specific choices someone else has made or things they've done. And so it's causal. It's about what's already happened as opposed to this bad thing happened and that means something better is coming along or something good is coming out of it. Because sometimes bad things just happen and nothing good comes out of that particular bad thing. But we do still have to live with hope, right? And you guys are very, very good at living with hope. That is definitely here in your cards. The fact that you have transformation in your life means you are open to transformation. There are no blockages there's no blockage energy going on around you at all. You are a forward moving person, and you are currently moving forward. You're going towards that which you are going to be able to become, do, or have for yourself. I'm getting, for the majority of you, it's more a sense of becoming than it is about getting a physical thing, a tangible thing. Though for some of you, they may go together, that in becoming this new version of yourself that is on the horizon as you transform and you grow, from the tiny changes you make, you're going to have big changes in your life. You may end up being more ready as a human to receive the things that you want on a tangible level. So I think for some of you guys, this is connected, right? I want to get just a little bit more information, a little bit more clarity for you. But good job, you guys, for, being focused on the abundance, the good in your life, what you already have. I'm getting the sense that several of you make use of gratitude practices, whether it's a gratitude journal or some other form of gratitude. Maybe just remembering to say thank you to people, thank you to your spirit guides, thank you to yourself for things that are done on your behalf, whether by others or for you. And this is causing your I should pull the cards for you because that's what a lot of y'all are here for. But I am getting intuitively that this is causing your manifestations to come into fruition faster. This focus on abundance is actually helping you. So we have 5 of Wands. Interesting. I want to get another card from this same deck. We have 5 of Wands. Again, we're looking at your your focus on abundance or lack. And we have 5 of Cups. So we have 2 5 energies there. And 5 energy is oftentimes about conflict. Not even oftentimes. 5 energy is, I guess there are other things that it can be about. But I'm getting the sense that for you guys, this is about an ending of inner conflict and an ending of the feeling of regret. Some of you have carried a very heavy, very strong feeling of regret for a long time because of an old decision that you made, a decision that was made many, many years ago that you had a hard time adjusting to what the outcome of that decision was or what the consequences of that decision were. And you are ready to transform out of that shadow energy, out of that darkness, those feelings of regret, inner turmoil, conflict, anger with the self. There might actually be another pile in this video for you guys. And in being able to move and being willing to move from what you felt were negative consequences of this choice, you are now transforming and moving forward towards what can be good because of this decision that was made, even though it was for some of you years ago that you made that decision. We have the Devil. Yeah. I'm really getting the fact that there was, it's like you were stuck for a very long time in this feeling of no, and you made the conscious decision to move forward from that into the energy of the feeling of not just yes, but hell yes. As in, I'm here for it. As in, I'm going to take this thing which seems so bad and I am going to turn it into something good. Okay, so apparently this is the reading of trite sayings, because another saying that people utilize a lot is, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Now, for me, that one I think is actually a really good one to live by. And I feel, again, like you guys are really, really good at that. So you came to a turning point. There was something that happened. And wait, the devil is 15 too. And 15 is 3 5s, right? So again, more 5 energy here. Is a shifting from conflict energy, a shifting from challenge energy. Definitely getting out of stuck thoughts, stuck feelings around loss, or decisions you made that didn't turn out the way you thought it would. Instead of gaining like you thought you would from a choice that was made in the past, you lost some things. And what you didn't realize at the time, and are probably starting to see now, or if you hadn't already, I feel like you already started to see it, which is why you've been able to shift your energy and focus on the good. But in case you haven't seen it already, you are going to start seeing the fact that those things that you lost as a result of that choice needed to be cleared away from you, cleared out of your experience, to make room for that which is coming. They weren't best case scenario, even though they may have felt like it at the time because they were very comfortable, right? Yeah, I just want to pull one more card for you guys, only because I just feel like we should. But yes, you guys have that energy of, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And you decided at some point, I'm about to take this and I'm gonna make some lemonade out of it. And so you are now in the process of that shifting of your inner self as well as your external circumstances, because of having made the choice to move forward and move on. And this sacrifices card, again, this could also have to do with what we see here in terms of what you chose to leave behind. Or maybe you didn't even think you would be leaving it behind, but in the choice you made, you ended up having to lose some things, having to leave some things behind. And a way that you can think about that going forward is not just that there was loss, but there was sacrifice. They were part of the sacrifice that is going to enable you to have this new good that's coming into your life. All right, and then we got Fool card, and we got Knight of Swords in reverse. We got those together. And I feel like this is reaffirming the idea that it is around the major decision that you made. For some of you, it was a big risk to make that decision. So it may have been ending a specific relationship that you had relied on or counted on for a long time, whether that is a romantic relationship or some other kind of relationship, a work relationship. I'm getting very loudly for some of you. For some of you, it was a relationship with someone in your family. For some of you, it was a major move that you made. And in taking that step, taking that action, at the time felt like the right thing to do. And some of you may have felt for a long time like, man, if I had that to do again, I wouldn't do it. And that's this Knight of Swords in reverse, having felt like this was a bad idea. But that all of this is underneath what has turned you into making the very strong conscious choice to, no, I'm not going to dwell on that. No, I'm not going to focus on that. I am going to let myself move forward. You are by nature a risk taker. You are by nature somebody who is willing to do what you feel is the right thing for you to do in order to get what it is you want, or be who it is you want to be, have what it is you want to have. And you're definitely being encouraged here to continue to have that be part of your personality. But you already came to that conclusion on your own. I feel that for the majority of you, this reading is a confirmation of what you already decided within yourself about how you are going to live your life, how you are going to approach life. Not just now, but going forward as well. That you have the power to change things. And that you can focus on what is good and draw more good into your life. And anything that is lost at any time can be considered a sacrifice. Whether consciously made or not, it can be considered a sacrifice in order to be able to move forward and go towards that which is going to be an even better best case scenario for you. All right, that is what I have for you today, you guys. Again, if you've enjoyed this, please give me a like. It does, or a heart, depending on what platform you're on. It does really help build our community. And then also, as you guys know, I do have the Etsy shop and my website where you can get a personal reading from me if you would like one. I have one in particular that is actually all about law of attraction and manifestation. And we do a deep dive to figure out how to accelerate your manifestations. You guys are doing a great job already. I would love to be a part of your toolkit, I should say, not a part of, but the reading that I offer could be part of the toolkit to help you just have even more clarity as you build and create the life that you want for yourself. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Bye. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So you guys were drawn into your reading today by either this amethyst crystal, the number 3, or the prospect of the Higher Self Oracle, which is a deck I really, really enjoy reading from. Today, for our overall messages, we are looking at what you're focused on. Are you focused on abundance or are you focused on lack? And how is that affecting your manifestations? In addition to pulling from this deck, we will also be getting a card for you from each of these other oracle decks, which you probably saw in the intro. So here we have the Wishcraft Oracle, the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Samoyana, and the Everyday Witch Oracle. And then we'll get some more details and clarification for you guys from the This Might Hurt Tarot and the Gilded Tarot Royale. So without any further ado, let's get started. Just tapping into your higher self, since that is the deck we are using right now. Let's see what message comes through first regarding whether or not you are focused on abundance or a lack, and how that might be affecting your manifestations. This guy was sliding. He wants to come out. We have transformation. What's very interesting about that is I believe another pile also got transformation. Very, very, very interesting. So let's see what comes up for you guys through the Witchcraft Oracle. There might be another pile in here for you guys. With that being said, there might be another pile with more messages for you. So after you've listened to this reading, if there was another one that was calling to you during the intro, you might want to check that out. Oh, there it is. Did you see it? Okay. And so here we have wishing boat. Wishing boat. I look forward to new challenges. Very, very interesting. So we have transformation, and I look forward to new challenges. And it's very interesting too, because when we go through transformation, it can be quite challenging, can it not? So it's interesting that you guys got both of those together. Now pulling from Vanessa's deck, the Wild Muse Oracle, let's see what comes through for you here on whether or not you are focused, and I saw you, on abundance or lack. Confessions. Look how deep and dark this card is. And look, this is also very interesting. You guys, look at the similarity between their positions, these women. They're not identical, but there's so much similarity. And also the surrounding darkness here, and then the darkness overhead here. All right. Our next deck is the Everyday Witch Oracle. So it feels like the energy that I'm getting with you guys so far is there's a little bit of back and forth. You may be struggling to stay focused on the positive, but you're trying, on abundance, on abundance. And though you may be trying to, but there might be something unresolved inside of you that's keeping you fully from doing it. Your intention is very strong that you want to focus on the positive, but something is holding you back. Here we have learn from life. Yes. So again, this one is the Everyday Witch Oracle. So before I've even pulled any of your tarot cards, you guys, that is very much what I just hit on a second ago is very much the message that seems to be coming through. that while you are trying to focus on abundance, that you know that it'll be better for you to focus on abundance. You might even be using affirmations that you don't fully believe yet, like I look forward to new challenges to try to help you perceive life in a way where you're focused on abundance instead of what doesn't seem to be working or what is missing or what feels badly. But there is something inside of you that has been keeping you from doing it. And I'm getting that it has to do with past experiences. I'm getting that it has a lot to do with unhealed forgiveness, or sorry, things that need to be forgiven. Things that happen in your past that need to be forgiven. Getting that for some of you, it's about forgiving the self, but for some of you, it's very much about a need to forgive others for harms they have done to you, or even more specifically, ways they have let you down, not been there for you. But there tends to be a swirling of emotion around you, kind of like a going back and forth between wanting to be positive and being drawn back into the negative, wanting to focus on abundance but being drawn back into focusing on what's missing, and not really feeling like you can pull yourself out of that shadow, out of that darkness. And speaking of shadow, it does feel very much as though shadow work may need to be done around this. I'm getting for a lot of you that there is unknown energies at play, things that you aren't conscious of. So whereas before I mentioned things that you know of that have hurt you, that you either need to forgive yourself for or forgive someone else for, but then for some of you, there's also and maybe for some of you instead, it is that there are some shadow, there are things at work that you're not aware of. There are energies at play that you're not aware of, but they're in your subconscious processing. They're inside of you. And you should do some healing work around uncovering those so that you can begin to move forward past those energies and not have them pulling you down. So your focus is kind of dual, right? It is trying to focus on the abundance, and you see that here, and many of you have had the mindset of, I can learn from that experience. And yet it's still keeping you from taking off. You see here how she's got one foot up, she's ready to fly, but the other foot is stuck on the ground or is still on the ground. So she's not really able to move forward yet. And I'm really getting that as the main energy for you guys, a desire to move forward, but an inability to. And it's because of these darker energies or these unknown energies that are still operational in you, at play in your psyche or in your emotions. For some of you, it might even be manifesting itself physically too. All right, let's see what else we have here. We're pulling now from the This Might Hurt Tarot just to get you guys a little bit more detail and clarity around this. We're talking about Group 3's focus on abundance or lack and how it is affecting their manifestations. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's very important for you guys to keep in mind that life does not just go in one direction, okay? And I know here on my channel, I tend to try to focus a lot on the positive, not just for myself, but for you guys, the messages that I bring you. I try to focus on what we can look forward to, what's good about life, what's good about us, what's good about the people in our lives, what's good that's happening to us already, and keeping our focus there. But the reality of life is there are times when we experience hardship, we experience challenge, we experience things that are not fair. We experience unexpected losses, pains, hurts from others, sometimes hurts that we've done to ourselves, the severing of relationships, things like that. And all of that is part of the wheel of life. We have positive and negative experiences. We may have a prolonged period where everything seems to be going right. And so we develop the narrative that life is good, that our life is good, that we are magical, that we are blessed, whatever the wording is that you feel most comfortable with or find coming out of you most easily. And then unexpectedly, out of the blue, something happens that is not positive in its nature, or it doesn't feel as though it is. It is hurtful. It is painful. It is scary. It is, again, unexpected. So we're caught unawares. We may be confused, not know how to deal with it, not know if we should deal with it. And now all of a sudden, we don't have those sunny, bright skies. We have, we're moving through darkness or moving in darkness. We are unable to care for ourselves and our loved ones in the ways that we're used to. Life looks different. We're defining everything differently, and we may have a completely different narrative. Now we may be more in the realm of bad things happen to me. Life can't be trusted. I don't know who to lean on, anything like that. I will never get over this. Life will never be good again. I was foolish to believe. I was foolish to be positive. Any of that can happen. And it's just so important for us to remember. And I do feel compelled to say us here and not just you guys, because this is true for everybody, not just pile 3. This is true for me too. That life has good and it has bad. And as depicted here in this card, you will see on the left, it's a sunny sky with some, like wind, like wispier clouds or wind in the background. And then on the right side, it's more stormy and we have the rain coming down in the fuller, thicker clouds. So just remember that, whatever it is you have experienced, it does not have to define you. And you also don't need to be afraid of bad things happening in the future, because they will. And I don't mean that to be flippant at all. I'm actually recording your group after having lost my beautiful boy, my cat. I started this video last week while he was not just still alive, but well. And he took a turn suddenly. And during the time I was dealing with that, I did pull for myself a few times, as well as get some readings from our beloved Alyssa over at Celtic Fairy Tarot. And when I pulled for myself, one of the times I got this card and I myself was reminded that life isn't just good all the time. Bad things do happen. And we will never get to an elevated enough place where bad things don't happen. We will never get to an elevated enough place where harmful things don't affect us. They will. It's part of our human experience. And so what's called upon for you guys is to try not to let that hold you down so much anymore. The desire that you have to let yourself focus on what's good about life is a good desire. And if nothing else, the Wheel of Fortune definitely says to you, yes, continue to focus on the good to the best of your ability, even though you know the bad is part of life, because the good is going to come around again. It is the way the circle of life goes. It is the way the Wheel of Fortune turns. We experience good things and we experience things that feel fucking horrible. Okay, and so now we're going to pull from the Gilded Tarot Royale from Sir Marchetti to see if there's anything else that's coming through for you guys around this. But again, oh gosh, that's a lot, and we will take them all. Again, the overall message for you is that right now it does seem to be that you're trying to focus on abundance, but you do get pulled back around feelings of lack. So you have 9 of Wands in reverse, you have the Star card in reverse, and you have the 5 of Swords in reverse. So all of these together, first of all, can we just talk about the fact that you did get 2 major arcana in your tarot pull? Okay. But with us having the 9 of Swords in, the 9 of Wands in reverse, there is, again, this energy around not letting yourself move on beyond the bad things that have happened. Now, for some of you, this might be legit because it is still a brand new hurt, a brand new darkness. You know what? If I hadn't been making this video and I was watching this video, I might have been drawn to pile 3, because it does feel as though these messages today are very much a reflection of what my own experience right now is. My loss is brand new. And so trying to make myself get past it right away would be a mistake. This might be the same for you. For others of you, it's been a while, okay? It has been a long time, and you are not you're also not able to see that bad time is behind you. But in your case, it might be time for you to start letting yourself see that. It may be time for you to start going, okay, that happened and it was terrible and it had this effect on me. But I am willing to and ready to move on beyond it for what it is I do want for myself, the abundance that I know can be there, the things that I'm trying to manifest that I do know I deserve in my life. You have been struggling with hope. Every single person who chose this reading today, this group today, this card is for all of you. I'm getting that the hope has a barrier right now, and that barrier is this stuff, this inner work that needs to be done around these old hurts, and then for some of you, hurts that are unrealized. Okay, I'm also getting that for you guys there is a desire, and we did talk about this already before we even did the tarot pull, a very strong desire to come out of this energy of conflict. So forgiveness is called for. Remember, we talked about forgiveness. So there is somebody that you need to forgive. It may be another person, it may be yourself. If for you, like me, this might be around the loss of a loved one, you may need to forgive that person for needing to move on, to transition, as we often call it in the spiritual community, to no longer be able to be there for you. Whomever it may be, I'm getting that for the majority of you who found this reading or chose this group today, you are being encouraged to let yourself begin the work around forgiving yourself, the other person, or even life, even your spirit guides. If you happen to believe in God or a goddess, you know, it may sound weird to some people to hear that sometimes we have to forgive God, but sometimes we do. And it might be because of what how we perceived God and what we projected onto the experience that we feel was where he let us down or wasn't there for us. If you happen to believe in the Judeo-Christian concept of God, it becomes very easy to be like, damn, how come God wasn't there for me, you know? And it may be that that's something that you've experienced. And if so, forgiveness of God is called for here. Or whomever your spirit guide or deity may be. Forgiveness of them may be called for here. But definitely, forgiveness is the key for you guys to be able to move past what has been holding you back from focusing on abundance, and being able to see and focus on abundance even more. See your abundance and focus on it even more, and be able to bring the manifestations, the things you're trying to create for yourself, the goals you're trying to achieve into existence. All right. So this is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here with me as always. If you happen to need a personal reading or would just like to have a personal reading around your manifestations or even some of these energies that we picked up on here today, I do offer those on my Etsy shop and on my website. The website address is shonwilson.com and the Etsy shop is notsoaveragestreamer.etsy.com. And as I am sure I almost said as I'm sure all of you know, but you probably don't know, actually. I have a reading specifically about manifestations, speeding up your manifestations and working with the law of attraction. So that may be one that you're particularly interested in. And right now, at the time I am recording this, we have just finished the early holiday sale. And we are going into the Cyber Week sale. So look out for savings that you can take advantage of there. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, group 4, and welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn into your reading today either by the smoky quartz, which I will put over here, or the number 4 itself, or this Wishcraft Oracle. Now, we are going to be pulling cards from each of these oracle decks for your reading today. So you're going to get to see all of them. This is the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena. This is the Everyday Witch Oracle. This is the Higher Self Oracle, which y'all know I love. And we'll also be getting some more details, specificity, and clarity for you from 2 tarot decks, the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman and the Gilded Tarot Royale by Cyril Marchetti. So, as a reminder, in case you skipped the intro, what we're looking at today is whether or not you are focused on abundance or lack and how that is affecting your manifestations. Without any further ado, let's get started. So just take a second to connect with your own energy right now, your own energy where you sit or where you stand. And let's find out, is group 4 presently more focused on abundance or lack in their lives? This one seems to be. All right, we have create a spiral. I am flowing with the seasons. Right away, group 4, I do need to say that there may be another pile in on this video for you. In this video, I don't know how to do that. There it is, me and the prepositions again. But anyway, there may be another pile for you today. So if you felt drawn to another pile in this video, be sure to check that out, okay? And then now we're going with Vanessa Samoyana's Wow, Muse. Oh, okay. Oracle. That was pretty dang it clear that this one wanted to come out. We have Becoming Nobody. So we have Create a Spiral. I am flowing with the seasons. And we also have Becoming Nobody. Next, we're pulling from the Everyday Witch Oracle. Messages around whether or not, or whether Group 4 is focused on abundance or lack right now. We have gratitude and thanks. Gratitude and thanks. So yeah, definitely those of you who chose this pile today, there is another reading for you in here for sure. So if you can't make time to check that out right now after this reading, you definitely want to like save this video for later, put it in a playlist or something, put it in your watch later, and come back to it for that other pile you were also drawn to. Okay, and also let me know in the comments which two piles had your messages today. And finally, from the Higher Self Oracle, again, focus now not just on your own energies, but on not just your energy where you stand at this moment, but also connecting intentionally with your higher self as I pull this next card. And we have patience. We have patience. So I'm getting, right off the bat, the energy that I'm getting for you guys is you very much are focused on abundance. And if it hadn't already been clear with these first two cards that we pulled, it definitely became super clear when we got gratitude and thanks, right? But also it was reaffirmed to me when we got the card patience, because what I'm getting about you guys is y'all may be the most mature group of all of the viewers today, or you may typically feel very grounded in life, as though you have a handle on life. I'm getting the overall sense that you guys truly understand the flow of life. And because you understand the flow of life, that you don't get everything you want right away, that you don't always get what you want at all. Sometimes you get something different. Sometimes, most times that different is better, but I don't really believe in just saying it's always better, because I think that sets us up to sometimes be in denial or deal with things that aren't necessarily in our best interests. There are a lot of platitudes out there in the world that we say to help us get through life and that give us some comfort and make us feel better, but they may not necessarily be the healthiest. And I don't know that it's always when you don't get what you want, you get something better. Sometimes you get something that's pretty damn awful, and then you have to make a new choice. But I definitely am getting the sense for you guys that even when that happens, you have a strong ability to assess in that moment and make a correct choice for yourself. Correct being what is best for you, what is going to do the greatest good, right? So yeah, we may not always get what we want. Sometimes we get something better, and you guys know that. And you know that it takes time for things to unfold. It sometimes takes time to have clarity around what has already unfolded. This is another wisdom you guys have. I'm truly getting the sense that y'all are a very wise, very grounded, very mature group. The concept of becoming nobody does not feel to you like a threat. You have the understanding that sometimes you have to take yourself out of the equation to be able to see and or receive that which is best. You know that ego can at times get in the way from us experiencing our highest good. Ego can also get in the way of us allowing others around us to experience their highest good. And because you know that, as you flow through life, as you flow with the seasons, as it says in this card here, you are able to know when to push and when not to push. You are able to know when to move forward and when to wait. You are able to let yourself wait for long periods of time if need be, but you are also wise enough to know when you have waited long enough. You are very good at giving thanks for that which you already have, and this is indicative of your focus on abundance, but also you are very good at being able to give thanks for what it is you are waiting to come your way. You have a strong sense of knowing that giving thanks allows that which you want to come to you more quickly, because there is no contradictory energy around that thing. When we are in a state of ingratitude or focused on lack or unable to be patient as life unfolds, when we think of the thing that we want for ourselves, it can be full of conflicted energy. The conflicted energy of I'm going to get it, no I'm not, I'm going to get it, no I'm not, which some people, particularly in the manifestation space, refer to as resistance. We create resistance to receiving because of an unsteady vibration around it, which is more often than not more negative than positive when we're in such a state. We're in the lower vibrations. But because you guys have experienced enough life in many different ways to know that the best energy for you to be in is always going to be gratitude. Gratitude for things you have, gratitude for things you are waiting to come, gratitude for things you did not get, gratitude for things that may not come. It's this ability to trust life that you have. And understanding that you are part of the universe, but the universe itself is bigger than you. You are a piece of the puzzle. And it doesn't frighten you to be a piece of something instead of feeling like you have to be the whole thing, the controller, the one that makes everything work. You have evolved or grown, however you want to call it, to such a state, ascended to such a state where you are in a state of trust more often than not. This is not to say you are perfect, which is why I had to clarify it with more often than not. None of us is required to be perfect. It's just that you tend to be able to flow with the seasons. You know, there are times to reap and there are times to sow. And you know that in between those two times is the time to wait. Okay, pulling from the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabel Rotman. So again, in case I haven't said it, it is quite clear that you guys are focused on abundance, and good for you. All right, so this one seemed to want to come out. You have the Hermit. This one also wants to come out. You have the World, so that's 2 major arcana. Death, 3 major arcana, and the 9 of Pentacles. So, yeah, lots going on here. I felt the need to keep pulling. I've done a different number of tarot cards for each of the readings, just based on, you know, what instinctively has felt right, what intuitively has felt right. And with you guys, right away, of course, once we got the Hermit, there was, there's almost like a matching energy between this Hermit and the Becoming Nobody, right? It is because, and it's matching because of its differences, if that makes sense to you. I hope it does. And let me try to explain it better. So what I'm getting here is, it is in having spent time alone, having developed a true enough sense of yourself, your right to exist, your right to have desires, wants, needs, your right to be a gift to other people. Because of having gone within, you are comfortable enough being able to pull back in situations and not have to force yourself, your desires, your energies, your needs, your fears on anybody else or on any situation. You have the ability to become nobody when that's called for, to remove the ego from the situation, the scenario when it's called for, because you have a strong enough sense of yourself. I have here with this World card the energy around you guys having completed some massive healings. And this is what brought you to the place of being as grounded as you are and is able to be in a state of gratitude as you are. And then definitely I've gotten for you guys that with this Death card, you are now on the other side of the transition that we see happen with death. With death, we have something that ends so that something new can be birthed. And you have become that new thing that is birth. So you were probably not always this way. This way that I've described you today, that has not always been who you are. That has not always been your experience. You grew into that person. You flowed. Again, there's that flow. And it's not that it was easy, but there was inside of you the ability to trust the process. And so because you trusted the process, you were able to let go, become nobody, go with the flow, stay in gratitude and thanks, and move forward to this new existence, this new version, this new way of being in the world. And like both of these cards here, first of all, both have to do with independence, the Hermit and the Nine of Pentacles, and they're both nines. And so this independence, this almost feels like the same lady. And I'm not just saying that because they're both black. I'm not. But this almost feels like the same lady in different stages of her life. So, let's assume that these depictions represent you. And that's not an assumption. This is your reading. So they do. Going from, going within, completing the cycles, rebirthing, becoming independent psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and then being able to give thanks for that experience as well as the experiences to come. Again, with Nine of Pentacles, we have not just independence. Typically, we look at it as financial independence, and financial independence is definitely something that we associate with abundance. So again, this is indicative of you guys being focused on abundance. The completion that is part of receiving the World card, that's abundance. Being okay in and of yourself, with yourself, that is abundance. Not feeling any sense of lack. You don't see yourself as lacking in any way, and because you don't see yourself as lacking in any way, when you look at the world, you don't see any part of it as lacking in any way. You know that the world as it is at this time is right as it is at this time. And you know that things are always subject to change. And you will go with the flow as those seasons present themselves. Okay, let's pull finally from the Gilded Tarot Royale. Gilded Tarot Royale by Cyril Marchetti. This one seems to want to come out. The Empress. Talk about fullness energy. And again, another major arcana card. And again, this feels like the same person. Now, clearly, and now y'all know I'm not just saying it because she's black, because this one ain't. But, they both have, well, we definitely know Empress is mother energy, right? Or can be representative of mother energy. And this one, she definitely feels nurturing, maternal, fruitful. This little kitty here may be her baby, the way my kitty was my baby. Some of you may already know this, but my beloved Casper, I lost him 2 days ago. I started this video for you guys last week when he was still home and well. And in between, we had some complications and we had to put him down. And so now I'm picking up for groups 3 and groups 4 after having had that experience. But, in the Empress card here, we also have, she's got some animal companions there. And she is the energy of Mother Nature, and Mother Nature cares for all of the animals. So I definitely feel there's a similar energy between these two cards in that nurturing, mothering energy. And you guys, first of all, I don't think I said it already, so let me make sure I get it out before I wind up your reading today. But definitely this energy that you tend to live in on a regular basis and are definitely in right now is making your manifestations come to you faster, because you are not creating blocks to their arrival by being in any sort of resistance or conflicted energy, or just not allowing them to come through. But because see, sometimes when we have just such a firm idea of what something should be, or we're in a state of ingratitude, when the blessing comes, when the manifestation comes, we just don't even see it. because it doesn't look like what we thought. I know y'all have heard this before. And your ability to become nobody, your ability to remove the ego and specific expectations from the equation allows you to receive things when they show up. Instead of, there are sometimes when we have resistance or conflict, or we're, too ego driven and we don't see the blessing come. And so, it just sits on the sideline for a while we're still sitting there going, how come I'm not getting my thing? How come I'm not getting my manifestation? And it's like right there, but we can't see it. And then we go through this whole rigmarole. And then finally one day, it presents itself to us again, maybe that same way, maybe through another means. And then we receive it. Then we accept it. Then we take the manifestation. So for you guys, it definitely is helping you get what you want and what you need in your life faster, because you are focused on what is already there and you make use of what is already there and who is already there, because the people in our lives are blessings as well, and they are manifestations of the universe into our lives as well, including ourselves. But there's definitely, with us getting this Empress card here, and the general energy that I tend to feel, particularly between these two, the Gratitude and Thanks card and the Empress card, I'm getting that for you guys, some of you are about to graduate into being the blessing, being the manifestation. You are going to be the answer to what someone else is looking for. You're going to help them begin to have or cultivate what it is they want for themselves, develop what they want for themselves. Some of you may become teachers. You may start teaching others how to live in the way that you live. If you have been feeling like you wanted to have a business, particularly if you've been feeling like you wanted to have a spiritual business, but you didn't know what that would be, you might be like, I don't read tarot, or I don't do astrology or whatever. It could be that for you, it's teaching perspective in life, like coaching. And you can do that, of course, through social media, like with YouTube channels, or you can just have your own website and offer coaching services. You may be, if I'm getting that some of you are connected, very, very connected to your church or place of worship. And there is space for you there to offer your teachings. I'm getting that you know who the person is to ask about it, and it's time for you to stop being shy and ask to be of service in this way. I'm getting that for several of you who chose this group, you are going to feel so much fulfillment being able to help mother others by teaching them. They will be like your children. Technically they would be your students or your clients or your customers, but you will have such a nurturing, compassionate energy in it. There are a lot of abundance teachers out there, and they tend to be very much in alpha energy, a lot of times in alpha male energy, even those of us that are female. And for you guys, you're going to present to people a new type of teacher to learn from, to learn how to create the life you want, how to manifest, how to utilize LOA, law of attraction, through the divine feminine energy, through your feminine character traits and behaviors and practices. One very, very good channel that I love on YouTube is, her name is Jenny Mithrial. I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly. It might be Methrial. And she calls herself, she says, I'm Jenny Methrial, the 4th generation witch. And so she's a hereditary witch, and her, and she's British. That was my very, very terrible attempt at imitating her. But she definitely does not operate in masculine energy. She very much feels nurturing, very much feels maternal, and still is teaching people how to create and how to manifest and how to do magic, how to be magical. And I'm getting that for you guys. You will be a guide or inspiration to others, whether you charge for it or not, whether you do it as a job or a side hustle, coaching service or not. It might just be, again, through your church or place of worship or within your own family. There's definitely very strong matriarchal energy here. Matriarchal even sounds a little too heavy and strident a word than what I really mean. It definitely feels like helping others be fruitful and bring things into fruition through yielding, through receptivity, through becoming nobody, through being patient, through flowing, as opposed to go, get, do, set goals, achieve, assess, journal, da, 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 da. No, that's not y'all. That's not y'all. And if it has been, your guidance here is to let yourself lean more into the yin energy instead of feeling that you have to depend on the yang energy. And I'm getting that for most of you, you already aren't depending too much on the yang energy. You've been utilizing it when you felt that you need to, but you're not overly dependent on it. You don't constantly feel like you have to do more, be more, have more, get more. You go with the flow and you receive, and you see the abundance as you go through it, and you give thanks and you receive even more. So that's what I have for you today, you guys. I'm so grateful that you are here, and thank you for your patience, as it did take me a little bit of time to finish getting this video out because of what we just had happened within our home. Casper was my boy for 19 years, and it's only been 2 days, and man, do I miss him, because he used to sit with me every day when I did these readings. If you feel like you would like a personal reading around your manifestations or the law of attraction, your own personal magic, I do offer an actual law of attraction reading on my website and in my Etsy shop. The Etsy shop address is notsavagestreamer.etsy.com, and the website address is shonwilson.com. And right now, at the time of this recording, it is we're getting towards the end of November. Just crossed over the middle of November, and so it is we just finished the early holiday sale, and we're going into Cyber Week. And again, if you happen to listen to reading 1 and heard me mention then early holiday sale or in the intro, that's because I recorded those prior to having to take some days off to help my boy through his passing. And so now time has passed and the early holiday sale is over, and we are now about to go into the Cyber Week sale. But I would love to help you if you so require. And I also offer other things in the shop and on the website as well, like an audio birth chart and dream interpretation if you might have interest in them. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. I did that backwards. Thank you. No, this is what I have for you today, you guys. That's how I do it, right? This is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my... Oh, wait, I did it early. All right. Thank you all so much. Wait, hold on. This is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Nailed it.